like the struggles for real. Like I remember when I was in college, and I had to. So I literally had a house that wasn't finished, and I was like living in one room, and I was just decorating like one room like a weekend. So then it turned into me getting an internship, and it was like getting too hectic. So it ended up being like, well, I was living in a half house, like, so I understand, like, but no, this is really, really nice.
Thank you. Really I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, welcome to the palace. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to my home, and I really appreciate you for showing up today and joining me in the Lux Conversation because, you know, you got a lot to offer. You got your own podcast, Legendary People Podcast. I've been on there. If you guys want to watch my episode.
Made us all cry, y'all. Made us all cry. Lord, made us all cry.
My episode is in my link tree now. So you are more than welcome to go check it out. And then we're going to talk about a couple different things today. Peanut's got a lot of experience with relationships and dating and children, raising children. My last podcast that I did was about positive parenting. And
we can talk about co-parenting too, man. I'm a co-parenting champion.
Okay.
Oh my God, yeah, that's
everybody needs help in that area, don't they? Yeah. And then I guess we're gonna talk about how you used to be a rapper because I didn't even know that you used to be a rapper.
That is crazy. That's crazy. So
we're gonna get to it, and I would like for you to tell our guests a little bit about yourself, like you know, where you from, what you do.
Okay, so I'm Peanut. You know what I'm saying? I started Dash Resource. That started from like during the pandemic, but before that, I was just Peanut. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball. I got in trouble when I was younger, stuff like that. But those type of things like made me better. You know what I'm saying? Like the bad things in your life kind of just pepper your steak. It kind of season you a little bit. Like it just give you like a little flavor. Like when I walk in a room and the real ones know what's going on with me. So when you run across the real ones like yourself, feel me? We feel good in those rooms that we ain't supposed to be in. You know what I'm saying?
So feel good in the room we're not supposed to be.
For sure. So like that is kind of like my early beginnings was more or less like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I had like my growing up was like me and my mom and my older brother and my younger sister, and it was like that until I was probably around 7 or 8. And then she got with my stepdad, which is like my dad. He is my dad, you know what I'm saying? And he has like a million kids, right? So it went from me having my own place, like my own.
Say a million kids.
A million, like literally. Okay, he probably still counting his kid, but I literally had like my own space, and then out of nowhere, it was like bombarded with a whole bunch of kids, and it was bittersweet because at that point in time, I was the younger brother, and I had a younger sister, but then I had other brothers that are older than me that weren't really running the streets. Like my older brother was running the streets at that time, so kind of like me being a big brother, and I ain't had no roadmap of how to do it. So I got 2 younger brothers underneath me and 3 other brothers that were older than me there. So kind of like they kind of helped me mold me to who I am today.
Right, because it's like I got to show them a better route than what I'm currently about to go down. And if I do that, then, you know, I got that on my conscience. You know what I mean? Definitely. So my dad got a million kids too.
Shut up.
But I definitely understand how that feels. Like I grew up, I'm an only child really. Like my mom is my mom and I'm her daughter. Like that's all we got. And, you know, me trying to step into the role of being brother, sister, all that was very much a lot for me. And also I understand like being an only child really affects how you deal with friendships too, because your first friendships I feel like are with your brothers and sisters when you have them. Like I feel like they know how to compromise better. They know how to handle conflict better because they've had to experience it their whole life. For me, the moment we have a conflict, bitch, I'm ready to go. Bye. Oh, wow. But I'm learning to like be okay. Like it's okay. They're not gonna be mad at you forever, or you're not gonna be like, you know what I mean. And for me, that's been a big thing. Like,
because like even before we started, you was like, I'm not used to like not responding to people that's messaging me, and it's like me, I'm like, shh. Do not disturb for 6 months. Like I don't care.
I mean, I do go along. I do go long lengths without texting people sometimes, but if I really like, I struggle with being ignored, and so I try not to ignore people because I know me. Like when people ignore me, it brings out the other side. Like don't do that.
Right.
I'm that girl.
And I grew with
like
I mean, and I grew with my sister where we would do like ignore games where I would just like ignore and she'd be like doing this from my face and I'm sitting there like,
oh yeah, it must be an only child thing.
That's the only child thing for sure.
I'm just so used to being able to get what I want, do what I want when I want. And so even being a parent is different for an only child, because when you become a parent, it ain't about you anymore. It's about them kids. It's about family. It's about all of that. Whereas when you're an only child.
Yeah, true. I mean, like one of my closest best friends growing up, he was the only child. So
do you see a difference?
I kind of can see that. Like, yeah, like I can definitely see that. So it's like my son, he is 18. That gives away my age very, very quickly, right? But I had my kids very, very young, which that kind of be a good segue to the parenting stage. Was it's like he had like a large gap between him and his other siblings, right? Because he was 17 when like my kids are 10 years apart. So I got 18-year-old, and then I have, you know what I'm saying? So
this is good info for me, because I'm not having another one for
18, years. 8, and 7, right? So it was like he was like the only child like for the longest time. So when I had kids, it was like a culture shock, but he was happy and like embraced them because he had siblings from his mom, stuff like that. But it was different when it came to his dad. It was like his dad was always, no matter what he needed, is there a third? And it's like, nah, we compromising now. Like I'm dealing with them. So yeah, but I had kids very, very young.
Okay, so you kind of know what it's like to transition and like see somebody go from like I've been your only kid for 18, like, you know, all this time. Now you want to bring me though?
Yeah, exactly. Like they want to be done, OG. I'm still a young G. Like.
Okay, so with that, we're just gonna get to like, you know, basically raising children like as a child yourself, because like you just said, your oldest is 18,
right? And
so that means that you had a kid 18 years ago.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
So like to put it things into like my perspective, like my first child really wasn't my first child because in high school, so yeah, I was hot. I had to be hot. If I had 2 kids at the age of, you know what I'm saying, like before I graduated high school, but one kind of found out to not be mine, but life prepared you for certain things. So I found out when he was 2. So at this time I'm literally like a young father. I have 2 children at this point in time before I even graduated high school. My dad, which is I said my stepdad, my dad was like, man, listen, I would not wish that on my worst enemy, because he already know, because he got all these kids already. So it was like a big culture shock, but it was like it made me be a man right then and there. I had no choice but to be like, you know what? You know what I'm saying? All the games was over. Basketball was over. All my little dreams was over. It was like, you feel me? You got to go work. Like, and I went to work at Taco Bell, one of my favorite jobs I ever had. Like, yeah, you feel me? Look, I'm the Taco King, okay? I was in there.
He said he
was
the Taco King.
Taco King, you feel me? So, yeah.
So, I mean, but what, like, give us some more detail.
Okay,
like, you know?
So like some of the challenges that like I faced as a young father was, I mean, dealing with young mothers at that point in time, right? So, I mean, no,
imagine.
I mean, seriously. So like with the other child or whatever, like it was a situation where my son came up missing, right? So yeah, literally like my son came up missing. I get a phone call from the ratchet baby mama, and I'm like, because at this point in time, you feel me? I got like a good baby mama and I got a ratchet baby mama. Like, you feel me? I mean, because like you ever heard the term like starter wife? Because like you be like your first wife and then your next wife be you feel me? Like it's the real one. I had like a starter baby mama and then I had a real baby mama. Like the ratchet baby mama got me ready to be like, you know what? I see why people be on these Snap episodes.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? So
I love it.
So she was just ridiculous though. Like it was one time, and shout out to her because she's made so many strides and progress. She's a great mother today. So let's not leave that out.
Yeah.
It will be times where like I would be over at my grandmother's house with like both of my kids, whatever, and she'll be like, I'll be over there to get him at 10 o'clock, so have him ready and everything together, because she just mad clock. You feel me? I had me a shorty. So it'll be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Now she's knocking on my grandma's door, bang, 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 right? So we only over there because I didn't want her knowing where I lived at, because she the ratchet baby mama, right? We got an apartment and everything. You're not gonna know where I live at, so you go here and bust my windows out. Do all this ratchet stuff because you and your feelings, right? So at least you will respect my
episode gonna go viral.
So in my head, I'm thinking like, yo, at least you gonna respect my grandmother's spine. Man, she pull up down there, smelling like weed. You know what I'm saying? She been drinking noticeably. It's like mad dudes in the car, like literally like one of those cartoon episodes where like somebody open the car door and all smoke coming out.
Yeah.
I'm looking like my son's not going in there. Like he's already asleep for the night. You can come back in tomorrow, or I could drop him off. Not an issue. She caused a whole issue right there. So I ended up having to call the police. No, she called the police.
Oh, man.
The police come over there, and the police look at me with damn near tears in their eyes. I said, man, listen, man. I'm sorry that I got to do this, bro, but he got to go with his mom. And I'm just sitting there like, bro, he's in her sleep. She's in the car with dude. She ain't even got a car seat. He's like, man, I mean, unless you got some visitation, stuff like that worked out, then I'm saying he gonna have to go. And that made me to start to be cautious and like things of that nature. So fast forward to the point where he come on missing, right? So this has to be on the doorstep of that. Or in movie magic, it had to happen like the next day. It wasn't. So anyway, so I get a phone call from her, frantic. I wake up, hello. I can't find blah blah blah. I'm like, what you mean you can't find him? Like, where was you at? Well, I had went with my friend or whatever, and I had let this little I had let some little niece of mine watch him or whatever. But like she be running away and stuff. Like, she be running away? What you mean she be running away? And then you let her watch him. So I'm sitting there pissed while I'm getting dressed while I'm calling my peoples. Like, I'll call my brother, my mama, I call everybody. You feel me? I probably call Jesus, bro. Like, yo,
call Jesus.
Hey, you there? You feel me? So we all mount up and stuff. We riding around, literally knocking on door to door to door.
Aww.
So it coming out.
I can only imagine how like that feels inside, because I have a situation. My son got out of the house. It's a long story. We'll talk about that another day. But they ended up finding him walking, trying to follow the dog out the house.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was in Florida, but it was crazy because it was scary because I was at court and his daddy had done some crazy stuff, and I was already thinking his daddy was on bull jazz. Oh, wow. And so he come up missing, and I'm thinking it's the daddy that took him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was tweaking. But anyways, go ahead with your story.
So look, I'm so glad like you said that, because you woke up, you were frantic, you were like, so when I get to where she's at, she's literally laid in the bed with another dude. Like I'm literally walking inside there, and listen, they didn't know upstairs room, they in somebody's living room. Like they in somebody's living room, like, and me and the dude cool down. You'll say, shout out to
Say
bro.
cool, we cool.
We cool. So, cause like, man, there's no reason to hold on to animosity towards things, especially once you graduate and then you like graduate in life, where you understand like people are just product of like their circumstances, right? Yes. I mean, she done had the best upbringing, you know what I'm saying? And I was fortunate enough to have a mom and a stepdad that was there that showed me the right from wrong, right?
Right, that steered you in the right direction.
So back to the baby missing. So I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? So I'm kind of pissed. I'm pissed off, whatever. But like, me and my brother were outside, like, bro, like, what you trying to do? I'm like, it ain't about that right now, because they on some stumping dude out, all whatever. Like, again, bro, it's peace. We cool. We actually was in a movie together. But anyway, so and I didn't know until my sister told me. I'm like, I didn't know that was him. But anyway, so to make a long story less long, we ended up finding him, whatever. The girl had like went to her friend's house, whatever. She had him. So when we got him back, whatever, I'm like, yo, we got to take him to get checked out. So we stopped down at Charles Drew Health Center to get him checked out. And we go inside or whatever. They look him over, make sure ain't nothing happened to him. So we on our way back out, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm keeping him with me. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can go do your ratchet. Like, you can have hot girl summer as long as you want it. Right. Like, go do that. But you feel me? It ain't that. So she's like, no, give me my son. Yanking on the window. My little sweet little baby mama, who ain't never like cussed a day in her life, got out the car and beat the stop sign off her ass.
It be like that sometimes. You know me, I'm the sweet girl.
Yeah, it was like that. Like,
until you push them little buttons, then it's like, okay, I'm a smile walking up to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's okay though, sis. I didn't want to do this, right? But it's okay, you know. But next time, just please don't push me.
Right.
Like, you know. And so my audience is seeing a different side of me in this too, because
see that? It's
the
energy.
I have multiple sides to me. And I'm trying to, multifaceted, and I try to be as transparent and authentic to all of those sides of me, because I used to think I had to be one way.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And it's not realistic to who I am. Some people, they are just, flat like that.
Yeah, I don't even down, right.
Yeah, but me, I'm not. I'm three-dimensional.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, I'm saying, like, I go from praying for you to beating your ass. Like, I be going from praying for you to praying on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a boy. Okay.
Yeah, we gonna get to the rap career. So, okay. Well, after you found your son, and she told her that you was ready to take him with you? What she what after the little
boom.
Ruffle.
So that turned into her saying, "Oh, you got messed up. You'll never see him again, or whatever." And she pressed charges on my baby. The ratchet baby mama pressed charges on the good baby mama. So now the good baby mama got to go to court. But I'm already fishing. I haven't been to court because I'm like, look, go inside there and say this, that, and the third. She went there and said this, that, and the third. Cases and this dropped, boom.
Mm-hmm.
But she like, yo, I'm putting you on child support.
Mm-hmm.
That child support saved me so much time and anguish. Wasn't even my baby, y'all.
Oh man!
So when them girl make you jump through all those hoops and stuff like that, it comes from reflect because like a woman is not going to deny a good father from the child. Period. It got to be something else in the feel me. It's something else in the water.
Unless they're like abusive or something like that, because that could be a different turnaround. Because for me, like a lot of times, I did deny my son's dad access, my first one, because like it was putting me in danger. You know what I mean? But outside of that, I have seen what you went through, and it's like it's hard to tell the difference because people so slick, But okay.
If you're in that situation, go pay that $160, bro. Go get your visitation rights, bro.
And then you're gonna find out.
Period. Yeah, for sure.
Y'all should find out at the hospital when the baby is born.
Man, it should be a law. Like it really should be mandated that everybody gets that done, just to keep the riffraff down. Because to me, it don't make sense. Because like once you sign that birth certificate, then you are locked in, like for life. You know what I'm saying? And I think you only got like a certain small window to turn it around. So young king, protect yourself, man. Like that was the same thing I tell my son today.
So going from that and going from having a baby and like having that baby and realizing that it wasn't yours, like how did you turn that around? Did you just say, hey, this is not my kid. Like I can't really take responsibility for
Well, like at that point, you know what I'm saying? I am again a very, very young father, right? I'm working at Taco Bell. I am making it work, you know what I'm saying? But it really ain't enough to the point where, you know what I'm saying, I turn to the street side of myself. So I'm hustling and working, you know what I'm saying? And then it turned from me hustling and working a job. So like now people like, how do you find time to do all this stuff in a day? I'm so used to just having to make stuff happen no matter what. So it turned into that, but it really was like, that is my coping mechanism. Whenever I'm faced with something traumatic, I just bury myself in work. Yeah.
You and me, we do it. We do it. We know. Like, it's hard not to, because man, if I sit down and face this shit, I might not come back up.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
I might not look back up, y'all.
Exactly.
So I get it. So then after you buried yourself in work, I mean, eventually the situation had to resolve itself somehow.
Yeah, and like my way was saying this, you know what I'm saying? I have a son here that needs all my love, all of my attention, everything that I've been kind of like, I don't want to say he was getting neglected because I mean he lived with me and stuff like that, but it was like I was having to split in order to make stuff happen. It went from
drama on top of it.
Yeah, and the drama on top of it is like, nah, I'm gonna give you everything. You know what I'm saying? And then like that's where I was like, so like that was the stage of my life there. You know what I'm saying?
So do you feel like from being that young guy and having a child that now you're taking full responsibility for this child that is yours, like your parenting style from child mindset throughout, like how did that kind of evolve?
Okay, so that's a great question because like I mean like I started trying to parent the way I was being parented, and I was noticing that some of those habits weren't like the healthiest when you dealing with someone else who comes from that similar background, such as like my good baby mama, what you gonna call her that? She was the one that was like, you know what I'm saying, that had some type of structure, you know what I'm saying? She understood, this, that, and the third. Like, she was helping me with raising the other one, like, during that time. So it made me have always, like, for instance, you know what I'm saying? I love her to death forever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so hard, like, because she was there and kind of helped me guide and push me to be the father I am today. So I got to really, like, give her a lot of that credit, but also with myself being receptive to new information.
Okay. Because, like, when me and my husband, like, we have run into that. We have run into the way he was raised. I was raised similar to how he was raised, but I've always been like this. I want to say rebel, but I'm like, I know this is wrong. I'm not going to conform to it. I'm going to figure out the right way to do it. And so I just decided to do things off rip the way that the book says. Like, I read books. I watched TV shows, things that I saw that I would like to implement in my family. That's kind of how I did it. And like my first baby's dad, yeah, we used to fight. He was abusive, but he was on board with being that type of parent to our kid. And so, you know, he was like on the side of family. We was all the way around 100% the same. Then, you know, then we had that other stuff going on. But then like when I got with my husband was like, I don't know how to do it any other way. And I don't, and I understand I don't understand really what you're trying to get me to do, because it's too much work.
Right.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And so it took a while for him to actually come around, because it was like, okay, well, I'm just not going to discipline him at all, because if I can't discipline him how I want to or how I know how to, then I'm just not going to do it. That was how it was for a minute, until he was like, got comfortable with being receptive to new ways of doing things and new information. And you know, now, you know, we're pretty much on the same page as far as how we discipline, how we want to parent. But I do know that it does, where you come from does play a part, because I'm triggered sometimes. Like, dang, my mama would have did blah, 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 blah if I said what you just said. Right. But me looking at it from my lens, I'm like, they're not being disrespectful. He's really just trying to understand life. Right. And if I didn't take the time to think about that and double back, then I'm really neglecting the information, giving the, you know?
See, and then it's like, and I literally had this conversation earlier today where like a lot of times when a dude gives his perspective or his pointers, it's not even a shot at like the mother's parenting skills. Like I could show you a text message today where I text K and I get a paragraph and I text this and the whole paragraph, because I'm literally trying to tell him, like, you told me that he needs to focus, so I'm going to implement things that he needs to focus on. And then you can't be like, don't tell him to do that, because it seems like you talking like it's not that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are dudes like that, but I am not. You know what I'm saying? It's like she should know who she's dealing with. And then she said like she was cramping today, so it's all good. So it wasn't that. So we cool. Shout out to the
Okay. I feel it. It's a lot. Man, this life is so interesting. Yeah. And you can either embrace it, laugh along the way, go through the emotions, acknowledge the emotions, and learn from them. So I love that. So like now, as you're older, do you feel like I mean, I'm sure you're proud of what you've accomplished. Absolutely. Being a young parent and having this 18-year-old son, like. Yeah. And you're like, wow, like I raised that. Like, right.
Yeah, like, I mean, he's driving with the prom. He drove my BMW drop top flexing. But like, to put it into a nutshell, right? No pun intended, Peanut, right? You had, I'm silly, I cannot help it. The difference between raising a child when I was young compared to raising a child now. So I had a 10-year gap, right? Pull out check for 10 years, whatever.
Oh, so, God, here you go.
Anyways, but seriously, right? The struggle that I went through with my son, he practically like we was raised together. You know what I mean? Kind of like, he's kind of like a hybrid son brother kind of thing. Like, we share the same interests. We have so many things in common. Then I have a son now that's young. You know what I'm saying? It's like now I'm the one that's more established. None of the struggles there. It's more or less, you know what I'm saying, guidance and wisdom and trying to groom them to what he's supposed to be. But me and my son that went hooped and everything, play on the same team. So like, he loves that part about it. It's like, there is a drawback to having your kids later, and there is a drawback to having your kids young. And there is no sweet spot. There is no perfect time to have a child. You know what I'm saying? Like, as my grandmother said, like, you don't get ready to have children. You'll never be ready. Like,
I agree with that.
Yeah, you'll never be ready for children. They're always going to make their way.
I definitely do. Okay, so let's get into relationships and dating advice.
Okay.
What first of all, what makes you official for that? Like, what makes you the OG for the relationship advice?
I have only been in long-term relationships. Okay. Only. Like, I'm one of those people, man, where it's like, I don't like being single for too long. I don't play that single shit. I don't. Like, I know people say, oh, yeah, single out there. I don't. No, I need somebody to care about me. I don't. Because I care first. Like, I want people to, like, I care first. Like, and, like, for instance, so I done been through so much weird stuff. So, let's start with, I mean, we already named that one, right? Okay. I've been with a stripper that turned into a porn star while we were dating.
Oh, God.
Like, and then people was like, yo, what's going on? Like, that's weird. And, like, a lot of dudes feel like,
how did you, wait a minute.
Yeah, see,
I said this episode going to go viral because wait a gosh darn minute.
People don't know a lot of stuff about me because I post my business. I don't post my business.
People don't know a lot about me. You know, I used to dance, and shoot, I don't be out here like, oh yeah, I used to shake my ass. Like, no, it's just like if it comes up, it comes up.
Right.
But that right there, like, how did that play out, and how did you?
So it's a term that I found out called trauma bonding, right?
Oh yeah. I did a lot of that.
So we got together under it's funny because when I got with my good baby mama, right, I was the young wild one and this and the third. So when I got with her, I saw those same signs in her. And I told her when we first got started, like, listen, I know it's gonna be hard for you because I remember it was hard for me. Like, and I was like the person that was kind of like understanding more than the average dude was, because the average dude is like wild out on her. Like, I was like, I understood, like, because it's all showing to who I am today, right? But no, like, so like trauma bonding, right? So like it was at a point where me and my good baby mama, she was like, yo, I had enough of this, whatever. You feel me? She done found her little dude. All right, cool. You feel me? I'm still doing what I'm doing. You feel me?
Okay, but why did she have enough? Was you out here?
Who?
Your baby mama? Yeah.
Was I out here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was wild. Like I said, like I was young. Like in my first time, like I literally went from, like I said before earlier in the story, where I went from having my own to being bumbling with all these people.
Okay.
So when we finally moved out, had our own space, had finally to be an adult, to run around, be wild, and do whatever I want to get a chance to have these life experiences that make me the same pepper steak that everybody likes today. I had to go off and get peppered, like, and that is what happened. Like I went out and experienced some life. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it is insensitive. It is terrible to drag people along through that process.
Yes.
So I understood her exit. You know what I mean? I did not feel she abandoned me. I didn't feel like she made the best decision for her. And I think a lot of people don't
see it that way.
Like that.
No, for real. Most definitely. I feel like you should give a person the opportunity to make the best decision for them. Like if I keep on, and I'm the type of person, I'm going to hand you the opportunity. Like I know this is not working for you. I don't want to keep dragging you through this, but I'm not right now. I'm not in a position to it's like I'm not in a position to leave you. So if whenever you're ready, like, and I'm a female, but I guess I just grew up with so many dudes that it's just like I have that somewhat mentality. Like my masculine energy shows up a lot, and I'm learning that is very like hard for men to deal with.
Yeah, I mean. And then to me, it's like, I mean, like, I grew up where, like, my mom and dad, they both done family like had a situation, and I see them still together today. You know what I'm saying? And I done seen people like myself, I done broke up and got back with people. So it's not even that big of a deal to me, because sometimes, like, you gotta go, like
you gotta make sure it's for you.
Like, when you leave to go off to college and then you come back, you know, like, oh, you should have stayed in college your whole life. No, I went off to learn something. I came back with some new information, like, and it's gonna benefit the whole. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole.
Oh yeah, we about to turn the internet up with this. Yeah. They're gonna be in the comments like, "Oh, Chef Jay probably done this." No.
But but the whole trauma bonding thing was like, you know what I'm saying? I was in a part where, you know what I'm saying, like we were together. Like she was stripping, I was hustling. So we was like back then, like everybody called them power couples. Like he hustling, she stripping. Like, you know, feel me? But I wasn't the person that was going to strip club and watching over her and making sure she was doing that. I didn't do that because I understood what that felt like. She needed time and room to make mistakes, learn from mistakes, and all that type of stuff. It made her a better person. She's a better person today. Shout out to her as well.
Period.
And it's like I became better through that whole process because I got a chance to see what I put somebody else through. I got a chance to feel
the mirror.
Yeah.
Turned on you.
And it was like, nah, that ain't cool. I don't want to be that type of person. Like, that will make me not want to be that type of person no more.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it was like that. And like that was really like when I became really a good dude. Like for real. Like that was me getting that hurt is what made me a good dude.
Okay. So there's this theory that a couple of my friends have told me, like the dude, like they'd be like, because I've been in an abusive relationship before, and they'll be like, well, if you just would have cheated on him, he'll stop putting his hands on you. And I just be like, what? That's crazy. But what you just said, though, if that is, like, what if that's the mirror turned on them? Like, what if they like, oh, dang, she really willing to hurt me like that? You know?
Well, to me, like, my dad, he never put hands on my mom, nothing like that. So I didn't grow up and, like, think that's okay. I don't think it's okay for women to hit men or vice versa. Like, I'm big on respect, and that's one thing I can say about any relationship I've been in. They always was respectful, like, and that's what attracts me to people is their respect. Because I don't care how beautiful you are. If you're disrespectful, you just like you spoiled at that point. I don't like that. Like I don't like because I'm respectful to a fault. Like I ain't called none of my girls the bees or nothing like that.
That's good.
Even in the most heated, like even when I found that baby wasn't mine, I didn't beat her up. Like I ain't call her bees in that third. When we break up, there ain't none of that. Like so I don't know. Like I just think if you operate with a level of respect, then you're gonna have that. It's kind of like the whole manifestation thing. Like if you put that positive energy there, then it's gonna be reciprocal.
Definitely. Yeah. I feel like if you believe that you are worthy of something else, you should walk in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
At the end of the day, like, and sometimes we gotta go through, like you said, what we put other people through in order to see that.
Exactly.
You know. So let's get to this rapping.
Oh my God. Okay.
So now I know you do Dash Resource. Can you tell us a little bit what Dash Resource is?
Okay, so Dash Resource was created during the pandemic where I literally show people how to trade stocks. At that point, I was trading stocks for 7 years already.
7?
Yeah, 7 years at that point in time. So like a lot of people were just out getting woke and they was like, yo, I need to start stock trading. I'm like, well, I've been doing it. Like, and I could show people how I did it. And it really was like a little fun thing I could do. Plus, it's like during the pandemic, everybody locked down. I had nothing else to do besides trade. And I've seen people like, we always on Facebook during that time. I'm seeing people at Summit Square fighting every day, seeing everybody that's using their little ill-gotten gains of PPP loans and whatever way y'all getting y'all little money together with y'all little scamming and your PUAs and all that. And I was like, y'all blowing y'all money when I could show y'all how to put that into something that's going to make sure you straight forever.
Oh my gosh. Isn't it, I mean, I hate to say that, but isn't it sad to see that there was so much money going around at that time and now everybody is like struggling? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? They're trying to it's like you said, if they would have reinvested it into something, then it would have been worth getting, right?
But it's like because like you know, so like financial literacy is something like people just don't like find value in, like because like think about it, like people say, oh, like we ain't got money, and then I go like for instance, so after I leave here, I'm gonna go to the community organizer meeting with the Northwest Priority Board. I think that's the Little Northwest Dayton area or whatever, and like you see some of the moms and they're saying, oh, I don't have enough money to transport my kid here and there, and I'm like, what kind of shoes they wearing? They wearing J's. Like, you know how many Uber rides they could have got for a pair of J's? You know how much gas they could have been for a pair of J's? You know, like you could have paid somebody that amount of money and then they could have just got some regular forces and been still straight. And it's like it's all about focus and mentality. And the fact is, like we covet all these things, but we don't look at the money we can make behind it. Like that's why I have this capitalist thing where I tell people be a capitalist, not a victim. Where literally I'm just telling you to spend your money in the same places that you buy. Like you literally invest in the same place that you buy.
Right.
Like I'm wearing Converse right now. Converse owned by Nike. I own stocks in Nike. I have no problem wearing it. I'll buy any Nike I want to with a clear conscience, knowing I own parts of it. I own parts of the company. Like you'll feel more inclined to buy it because then your money going into the earnings. The earnings are going into the sales. That is going to dictate whether the stock goes up or down. So yes, you're buying it by supporting at that point. Right now, keep on buying Jordan stuff and not buying the stock.
Right.
It's going to keep making me money off of it. I'm going to capitalize off of it.
Right. Definitely.
So it's all about focus for real. So that's the point when it comes to that. It's like it's all about financial literacy and teaching people. So I do a very provocative way of just showing people how easy it is, showing the easy ways of doing it, not the hard ones I got to do when I'm day trading, but just the easy plays.
Okay, cool. So when
that was Dash Resource was.
Dash Resource, okay. So, but prior to Dash Resource, tell us about some of the backstory, like what led to Dash Resource outside of like you just being bored in the pandemic. Like, what did you do before?
Okay, so I was already trading, right? So we ended up starting a hedge fund called the Sanka Fund Investment Group. We are the youngest all-black hedge fund in Ohio. We lit.
Okay.
Our 3rd year anniversary will be on Juneteenth. We started on Juneteenth, and it was like it started from me just helping like people I knew, and then it turned into me end up typing things out, and then this also a little cheat code for y'all. So whenever you like got this same thing like you send to everybody, rather than having to type it all out or saving your notes, you can send it to your own self on Messenger. So you can send yourself a message on Messenger. So I had literally typed out this whole daggone thing because I got tired of just retyping it. And I was like, man, I had sent it to somebody. I was like, man, you should make this a book. All right. So I ended up writing a book, and then that was the main push behind it was that. So it really was like me just helping out friends and family, then it turned into the whole community.
Yes. Okay. That's super dope. Super dope. Where can they find your book?
Oh, on Amazon. I'll provide my link tree, but if not, you can type in link tree. She's the link tree queen, by the way. Okay, listen. You killing the link tree game. Okay, the queen of link tree for sure.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. So link tree / resource.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And before, like, it's like you still trying to get around this rapping thing. What you used to rap about?
So all right. So this is funny, right? So Dash Resource is hilarious, right? So Dash Resource, like, man, that's a real cool name. It comes from my rap name, which was P Dashes, right?
P Dashes.
It sounds funny now, but it wasn't then. Okay. Like, a lot of people regard me like one of the best rappers. Like, well, cause like I'm like one of those like punchline kind of rappers. Like, mm-hmm. I'm usually always being joking and stuff like that. So like we used to battle at like the lunch table and stuff like that, like in high school. Mm-hmm. So it literally was a point where we used to rap for like the first lunch period, and that turned into this big old thing to the point where people would skip their lunch period to come to our lunch period.
You was a bad influence.
Yeah, okay. That bad influence turned into so then it turned into like we would just have like ciphers like for the whole 3 lunch periods. Mm. The principal at that time, Miss PB House. I think it was PB House. She came to me and then she said, "Listen, you come here." I'm like, so she bring me back to the no, it's me, Dame the Great, which is a rapper from Dame. You heard Dame the Great from Honey Gang, whatever. Me, him, is other 2 people, Kevin Clay and my dude Exquisite, and then maybe it wasn't Rayshawn Reese because he wasn't about to skip no 3 periods. Feel me? His parents weren't playing that, mm-hmm. right? So we got pulled to the back and then like inside her office, and she said, "Listen, I can either expel y'all for y'all inducing a riot, or y'all can go to y'all class every single day. Y'all can rap at y'all lunch period, but do not rap at nobody else's lunch period. If y'all do that for this week, then we're gonna let y'all rap in front of the whole school." I said, "Bet." So we be in there rapping, getting it on, the bell ring. They like, "Nah, keep." I'm like, "We gotta go."
Oh,
we gotta go.
Discipline.
We gotta go. So everybody leave. She looking like, okay, you feel me? Like she sees some leadership in me. So man, she ended up scamming us though, because like so it comes time we like bet. So we putting together like, yo, we about to do a song together. Shout out to DJ All City. So we went to his house. His mom made a studio for him. We in there putting together songs, and we come back with our songs ready. And she like, yeah, but you guys gotta rap about the damn proficiency test. Right, and back in the what were they taking out there? OGT is what they take now. Back in
she got him.
Back in AD, you know what I'm saying? Like
got him.
I mean, like back in BC. So we like, so they disgruntled. I'm like, nah, y'all like
we gonna make this happen.
This gonna be dope, right? Like this is my leadership kicking in. Like
that's me.
We can do it. Yeah. Like we can make it to where we like we just implied that we cuss, but we ain't gotta cuss. Like it was like. Some people was like, "Nah, I ain't with it. I'm out. I'm out." Mm-hmm. Three of us did. Me, Dame the Great, and Kevin Clay. Mm-hmm. So we put together this rap. I do not remember this rap. I wish I did. So we rapped about the proficiency test in front of the whole school. They clapped for us. It was lit. Like everything was so dope. Then Miss PB House had came to us again. It was like, well, like what are you guys doing this weekend? Like nothing. She had us rap in front of Sinclair. We went down to Sinclair and did the rap all over again. Like it was, listen, now we kind of doing like a little rap tour. Like I'm liking that. It was like that. So then it comes time to talent show. Mm-hmm. Man, the talent show was so lit. Like, so we all rapped again. So we was like a little group called R.E.
R.E.
Raps Elite. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we like did the talent show and stuff like that. And it was super dope. So it was something that like, I loved it. My dad, he was a performer. He was a singer, stuff like that. So like we done been to BT Soundstage, stuff like that, studio inside my house, all that stuff. And my dad really never believed in me rapping. Mm-hmm. He would like let my older brother rap and my stepbrother rap. I'm like, you think I got no talent? Like I'm better than all of them. Like, but I kind of was like, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was like my little way of like, hi dad, you know what I mean? I ain't never told nobody that. So
it's okay, because I done felt the same way for a time. So.
Yeah. So then, like, it just turned into that, and then, you know, I was battling and things of that nature. I hooked up with other rappers, started doing open mics, things like that. Met with Kevin Shaw from Jive Records, all that type of stuff. Like, it really did grow legs, but it was like, at that time, I was on probation, and I couldn't really go nowhere. Shout out to Ms. Lowry. I was under, like, a serious crime, so I couldn't just go anywhere. So she was like, yo, no, like, I understand you'll be the big rapper, whatever, but no, you can do anything you want to inside dating limits. Like, sometimes we snuck out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do too much. So a bunch of like record labels didn't really want to deal with that type of issue. But it was
Yeah.
dope though. Like I got out what I
experience.
Yeah, I got what I want out of it. Like it's YouTube videos out there, just type in P Dash or whatever. Me rocking out, man. It was dope. It was dope.
I have to check it out.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate you showing up today and doing the Lux conversation with me. I really feel like this conversation is like one of a kind. Definitely, because you know, like I said, I'm multifaceted, and so are you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you can show up in any room and kill it and steal the show. You know, just like myself. And so I like partnering with like-minded people, people who I can be myself around and really just show up, because at the end of the day, if I'm not being authentic to myself, I can't be authentic to my audience. And so it's really important. So I need you to give a tip to our audience, and then also tell them how they can, link with you. We're probably gonna put it in the comments.
Yeah. So, man, I literally just posted this today, man. It was somebody who literally, man, like a complete stranger lifted my spirit today. You know what I mean? I'm literally, I'm going through my Instagram and I see somebody comment on this picture of me showing my basement that's getting redone and stuff like that. And he was like, man, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love the hoodie and everybody asked me about it or whatever. And it was just dope to see like a complete stranger supporting me. And that just made me think of what my grandmother said. It's like, there's no roadblocks on a righteous path. And if you are a person that feels like, nobody support me, my friends not supporting me, this, that, third not like support me. Remember, there's no roadblocks on like a righteous path. So if you don't have that support within your circle, God is gonna put those people in your life, man. Like, period. And like, don't be sit there complacent, whatever. That consistency pays. Continue to be consistent. Show up for people. And then listen, if you need support, give support. If you want love, show love. You want somebody to share yours, reshare theirs first. If you do, I promise you, I have no problem with nobody.
Reciprocity is real.
I'm telling you, if you become the person that you want to be supported, then you are going to get that same support from people. It's been nothing but love from my people, man. And if you want to hit me up, you can always hit me up at Dash Resource on YouTube. P Dash is still on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Dapper Dash is out of the metaverse. You know what I'm saying? It's lit right now.
Yeah, he goes from this to Dapper.
Oh,
and it's an epic transformation. Okay.
Everywhere I go and I do the Dapper, they be like, I didn't even notice you. Like, why not? Like, what's in between the hoodie and the? You feel me?
You know what the difference is. Stop playing. Stop playing. Well, thank you guys for tuning in, for listening. If you would definitely like to see this podcast grow, please like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever it is, wherever you're listening or watching from. The support is real. I love you guys. Have a great day, night, week, wherever.
Big Cat was not a victim.